the Fallaway promenade. This figure commences moving a long line of dance, pointing diagonal wall. Slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, and finishes facing wall. We'll try that again. Again, we commence this figure moving a long line of dance, pointing diagonal wall, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, and I finish facing wall. And now for the man's timing and alignments. This figure again begins moving a long line of dance, pointing diagonal wall, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, and finishes facing wall. And now for the man's foot positions. We have left foot to the side in promenade position, right foot forward and across in CBMP in promenade position, left foot to the side, right foot back in fall-away position, right shoulder leading, left foot back in CBMP in fall-away position, right foot closes to left foot slightly back in promenade position. And from a different angle, we have left foot to the side in promenade position, right foot forward and across in CBMP in promenade position, left foot to the side, right foot back in fall-away position, left foot back in CBMP in fall-away position, right foot closes to left foot slightly back in promenade position. And now for your footwork. Heel, heel, ball heel, inside edge of ball heel, ball heel, ball heel.
And now for the ladies' timing and alignment. This figure, ladies, will commence moving along the line of dance, pointing diagonal center. Slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. And finish line of dance. And now for the foot positions. Right foot to the side in promenade position. Left foot forward and across in CBMP in promenade position. Right foot forward. Left foot back in follow-away position, left side leading. Right foot back in CBMP and follow-away position. Left foot closes to right foot, slightly back in promenade position, right foot without weight. And now for the new alignment for the ladies. Right foot to the side in promenade position. Left foot forward and across in promenade position in CBMP. Right foot forward. Left foot back, left shoulder leading in follow-away position. Right foot back in CBMP in follow-away position. Left foot closes to right foot held without weight in promenade position. And now for the ladies' footwork. We have heel, 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 inside edge of ball, heel, whole foot.
And now for the technique. Gentlemen, we'll take you first. What I want you to think of through this entire figure, through the promenade and through the fall-away position, is we have three alignments of our body. We think of the feet, our low center, which is our belly button area, slightly to the right of that line, and of course our high center, which is our sternum area, slightly to the right of our low center. So that angle and those alignments, those three distinct points, we must keep consistent all the way through this figure. Now also what we want to focus on is that we want to create a diagonal line across our thighs, our hips, and our upper bodies, the abdominal area, and through to our head. So there's a poise diagonally left throughout. So as we go through our promenade position, and it then changes backward into our fall-away position, we want to keep those 3 points and that diagonal stretch consistent at all times. Okay, now, with Heather, what we're going to do, we're moving from promenade position, I'm curving to my right, going to the wall. Now, what the lady is going to feel at this point, there are many figures where the man moves in promenade position and he then rotates to a closed position so the lady would step between our feet. Now, what is distinctive about the fall-away promenade is that quite often we can mix our lead up, and all of a sudden, as we're curving to the wall, the lady will close her head and try and step between our feet. So what I'd like to give you a tip in leading this is that I want you to feel that you're curving the walk, steering her through an arc. By curving that walk, it will keep her in promenade position. So if we take another figure, so you can see the difference, and we move towards the camera, if you think of yourself in lane 1, the lady is in lane 2, we take 2 steps of promenade. In these particular figures, we revolve around her, switching into lane 3. Now, it's that rolling action that will actually close us, but also make the lady close her head. So in this particular situation, and I'm going to demonstrate this towards the camera, as I go to my second step, I'm steering into her path. That makes her go forward in the promenade position, and she will then not close. We have walk, I curve her to the wall. So it's very important that we distinguish the difference between your leads. In some of the other figures where you want the lady to close, you would take 2 steps of promenade and then you would revolve into lane 3. Whereas in this particular figure, we want to actually, from the first to second step, steer into her path, creating that curve and arc. That will keep her in the promenade position, of course, enabling us to then go back into a fall away. So it's very important, gentlemen, that you distinguish the difference in this lead, because otherwise, quite often, the lady will become confused. So I'd like to do this towards the camera in dance position. So we take 1 step of promenade in our normal position. I start to curve into her track, guiding her through a curve, and then, of course, then we're going to step back into our fall away position, ending in promenade position. So it's very important through this figure that you think of the 3 alignments of the body: the feet, the low center, the high center. Keep your diagonal stretch and think about the distinction of difference in the lead going into the fall away promenade.
And now for the ladies' technique. Now again, ladies, what I'm going to come back to is the position I mentioned to you earlier for promenade position. It's the best thing that I have found for my body, and I've found for people when I've been teaching this, to keep their bodies in a beautiful, balanced and still position in the right location on the man's body. I feel that promenade is probably one of the most misunderstood steps from the very, very beginning. And what we must remember, ladies, is that we always stay behind the man's right hip. And I want you to remember the exercise we did earlier when I link into this position and get behind the man's hip. Now, if Victor just simply walks in a circle, he can do what he wants to do in a very, very tight, short space of time even, and I'm going to keep that exact same location on his body. I'm not going to try and help him when he decides to curve into my track. I'm not going to try and create more space, because probably the thing that you would do is the exact opposite. The shoulders would allow the hips to increase and cause a pressure, thus causing us to gap. So remember, ladies, keep the hip joint and the bottom rib at all times lined up. Now then, when Victor actually commences this, I'll just talk you through this, ladies, as we go through. We're going to be down into our left leg. We're going to stay flexed. Victor then takes the first 3 steps. Now you are leading this action. He's leading it through his legs, but I want you to feel the lead through your left hip joint working back. So I simply want you to feel, as you transfer weight, a relaxation into the hip joints. Please do not do the natural opposite and push the hips forward. Keep the central line and hip girdle area traveling backwards. Now what this will do, this will cause, as that hip starts to release back, it'll cause, sorry about that, it will cause the right leg to be placed underneath the left in a very, very closed action. Now this is your preparation for the ending now. You're going to use that right leg, allow the left hip to come back again to finish in that closed position. Now ladies, this is an unusual ending for you in promenade position. Normally, most of the time we finish promenade and our feet are like this. So what I have found in this step is that the ladies sometimes find this difficult to close their feet and finish in a beautiful position. So from this last action, ladies, if you use the pressure into that foot, pull the center back, bring the left shoulder and left hip back, you'll end up in a beautiful position with the back towards your partner, hips relaxed, and elbows forward. Remember, always try and go back to the basic lining up of the blocks of weight, and if you, both the man and lady, are abdominally aware, it will keep you centrally strong together.